Student Government President Pat Kelly, a double major in political science and secondary education, who hails from Glen Ellen, Illinois. To most of us, that's known as Chicagoland. You're going to have to hustle to keep up with Pat. He's a runner and he's a veteran of the Marine Corps Marathon. Pat started his AU leadership journey as an orientation leader, so he knows a lot about AU and about the experiences that you've been having this week. Please welcome Pat Kelly.
Good morning, class of 2017, new transfers and graduate students. Welcome to your American University Convocation. Today marks a momentous milestone in your trek through life, but it also marks the beginning of a unique chapter in the 120-year-old story of American University. It's the 88th time we have gathered here together. It's the 88th time we have celebrated a new year at American University. A lot has changed since the first time we gathered in 1925. A great generation overcame disease, depression, and war. A man declared a dream of a day when inequality would be eradicated. And a once tiny school, chartered by an act of Congress in 1893, has grown to be a mighty global university where ideas turn into action. Now more than ever, our generation is facing a world with many obstacles to peace and progress, and more blurred solutions. And of course, sadly, there's a lot more bickering. The spotlight is starting to turn towards us. The weight is shifting onto our shoulders. The burden is becoming ours to bear. So what will the outcomes be? What are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? I have no idea. But what I do know is that we have been, and always will be, a student body that will not sidestep these issues, but will sprint full speed ahead at them. Our compasses are true, and our hearts are full. As eager as we are, though, to become the movers and shakers of tomorrow, we can't afford to live and fast forward during this part of our lives, as our time here together is far too short. So be the person you have always wanted to be, because you can do that here. Although the challenges our society faces have evolved, the values AU espouse and always will instill are what we will use to heal the wounds of the world. So one day soon, it will be us who gets the call or receives the nod to be the pioneers and titans of tomorrow. And when that moment comes for us, whenever it may be, let it be the values of service, community, and acceptance that we hold so dearly as an institution and celebrate here this morning that guide us in all of our endeavors. Fellow Eagles, be the dreamers. Push the human race forward, upward, and onward in search of those lofty endeavors, ambitions, and ideals that will one day change the world. For that is how we will win the future and continue the everlasting construction of the American story that Eagles who gathered here 88 years ago started. The man I have the privilege of introducing next is truly a testament to our American idea of once an Eagle, always an Eagle. Dr. Neil Kerwin leads the school as someone who sat in the same classrooms you will sit in and has walked the same quad you have walked. After attending American University as an undergraduate and earning a PhD in political science from Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Kerwin came back to American and began to teach in the School of Public Affairs. In 1989, Dr. Kerwin was named the Dean of the School of Public Affairs and eventually University Provost in 1997. In 1998, on September 1st, 2007, following 2 years as interim president, Dr. Kerwin was inaugurated as the 14th president of American University. He's the first alumnus to hold the position. The list of honors goes on, though. During his time at American, he has authored not just one, but 2 books on public policy and the regulatory process. In 2009, he was named a Washingtonian of the Year by the Washingtonian magazine and serves on the board of the American Council on Education, which is the nation's largest, highest higher education organization. But perhaps his greatest accomplishment, and it's a pretty heartwarming one, so feel free to awe, was meeting Ann Curling, a fellow undergraduate he met during his time at American, whom he would eventually marry. Together, they have raised two accomplished sons, one of whom also proudly calls American University his alma mater. We as a university are proud of a leader who doesn't settle for the status quo, but seeks to innovate the AU experience and has cherished this school since he stepped foot on campus for the first time 4 decades ago. Members of the class of 2017, our new transfers, graduate students, it's my honor to introduce to you the 14th president of American University, Dr. Neil Curling.